Satan jabbed me with porn, and he straight-handed me with masturbation, and he hooked me with guilt. And from that point on, I noticed I only had two options, and it occurred how much harder it is to stand up than it is to do this. And there was only 10 seconds, and I didn't know which one would be the choice for me. But I knew if I don't make a choice, he'll have to make one for me, and it won't look pretty no matter what Facebook rate you give me. See, I can't live in the past like the Flintstones and live in the future like the Jetsons. But I'm gonna live for him now, even if his profile's not trending. Make a decision, hot or cold, light or darkness, thick or thin, Christ or sin. See, so many times I try to mask my true self, making everyone think I'm free, but I was living in a cell. I was that same way. I did things I'm ashamed of. I felt like the weakest person on earth, but then I heard Christ uses his strength through the weak ones. My low self-esteem was so low, it was under my heels. He gave me love I thought I would never feel. I wanted people to look up to me, but I thought I had to be taller than them. Boy, was I wrong. Because with every lyric, every sentence, and every song, I can inspire them. See, at age 4, I was touched by a family friend. I acted so happy, but I would just pretend. But I didn't know that in the end of the day, everybody else acted the same way. I've lost people that I love, but even through that, Christ never loosened up. Matter of fact, I blame it on him. I was captured in desperation, but then he saved me. Growing up, I only thought of myself, thought if I had new shoes, it would change how I felt. But it only left me chasing the ones that didn't come out yet. But then I learned I gotta be a living sacrifice that's sacred. I was blind, but now through the lens of grace I could see. And I thank God every day for pastors who wouldn't give up on me. I'm bearing fruit I never tasted, investing in my talents so they will never be wasted. And see, my sins? Nah, he erased it. So when I highlight a verse, he highlights my life. And Jesus said I was worth it when he gave his life. And if you felt what I felt, you know what I mean. And if you had, I bet you're picturing the scene when you first felt the love of God. The love that you thought you'd never see. And many times we treat God like a genie. When we hit rock bottom, we notice that there's a need. But after he fixes it, we put him back on the shelf. I had so much pride I couldn't admit I needed help. But I can't do anything without him. I had high standards, but it was only skin deep. And accepting Jesus was a great leap, and for Satan, it was a great defeat. Accepting his son was the best decision I ever made. And from that point on, I was never the same. Even though my porn addiction was blistering, even though my porn addiction was blistering, he was whipped and wounded for me. Because my sin died with him, and your sin died with him. Future, past, and present. I've had my bad days, but I saw hope in the distance. Jesus is my influence. Look at what he did to me. He died just to get rid of my impurity. And since then, I'm known one of a kind. And everybody has a testimony. I just told you mine.